Breaking news has sent shockwaves through Britain and far beyond, as reports and intense speculation swirl around the future of the monarchy. In an extraordinary development that few believed they would ever witness, King Charles is now being widely reported as having stepped aside, triggering a sudden and dramatic transition of power that places Prince William at the center of the world's attention. Social media, tabloids, and royal commentators are all using the same explosive word, abdication. While Buckingham Palace has remained tightly controlled in its messaging, the narrative taking shape is one of crisis, betrayal, and a monarchy forced to act in order to survive. If you found this report insightful, take a moment to reflect on how celebrity culture shapes health trends and why responsible conversation matters. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for more in-depth coverage that goes beyond the headlines and keeps you informed as these stories continue to unfold. Share this video, leave your thoughts in the comments section. According to multiple commentators close to royal circles, this moment did not arrive quietly or unexpectedly behind palace walls. Instead, it is being framed as the culmination of years of tension, strained loyalties, and a family divided in full view of the public. Observers say King Charles, already facing immense pressure from health concerns and declining public confidence, was pushed toward an unthinkable decision after what insiders are calling Prince Harry's greatest betrayal yet. Though details remain fiercely contested, the allegation alone has been enough to ignite a political and constitutional firestorm. Sources quoted in the British press claim that the final rupture came after private communications allegedly linked to Prince Harry were revealed to senior figures within the palace and the government. These communications, described by commentators as deeply damaging, are said to have crossed a line that could no longer be managed through silence or behind-the-scenes negotiations. While no official documents have been released to the public, royal analysts argue that the severity of the reaction speaks volumes about how seriously the situation was taken. Within hours of these reports emerging, attention shifted sharply to Prince William. Long seen as the steady heir, the symbol of continuity and restraint, William was suddenly portrayed as the reluctant but necessary answer to a monarchy in turmoil. Commentators describe a rapid sequence of consultations between palace officials, senior advisors, and constitutional experts, all focused on one priority: preserving the institution at all costs. In that context, William's ascension was framed not as a celebration, but as an emergency measure. As news outlets began using the phrase, "just crowned," crowds gathered outside royal residences, not in jubilation, but in confusion and disbelief. Many citizens expressed shock that such a monumental shift could happen so abruptly. Others, however, voiced a sense of inevitability, arguing that the monarchy had been drifting toward this moment for years. In their view, King Charles's reign had been overshadowed by family conflict from the very beginning, leaving little room for stability. The most controversial aspect of these reports came next. Royal insiders speaking anonymously suggested that Prince William's first decisive act as king would be to formally sever ties with Prince Harry. Some commentators went even further, using the word banishment, a term loaded with historical weight and emotional intensity. While constitutional experts are quick to point out that modern Britain does not practice literal banishment, the symbolic meaning is unmistakable. It would represent a total and final break, removing Harry from any remaining role, status, or influence connected to the crown. Public reaction to this possibility has been deeply divided. Supporters of Prince William argue that decisive action is long overdue, claiming that repeated controversies surrounding Harry have eroded trust in the monarchy and distracted from its duties. They see this moment as a necessary reset, painful but essential for the institution's survival. Critics, on the other hand, describe the move as ruthless and emotionally devastating, warning that it could permanently fracture the royal family and damage Britain's image abroad. Royal historians have been quick to draw comparisons to past abdications and family schisms, reminding audiences that this would not be the first time the monarchy has been shaken by personal choices colliding with public responsibility. Yet many emphasize that the modern media environment makes this situation unprecedented. Every rumor spreads instantly, every alleged betrayal is dissected in real time, and every silence from the palace is interpreted as confirmation. Meanwhile, Prince Harry's camp has reportedly expressed shock and anger at how events are being portrayed. Allies of the Duke insist that the allegations being circulated are exaggerated or outright misleading, arguing that he has become a convenient scapegoat during a period of institutional anxiety. They maintain that any communications or actions attributed to him have been taken out of context and weaponized to justify a predetermined outcome. Still, the momentum of the narrative has been difficult to stop. Television panels, newspaper columns, and online commentators continue to frame the story as a turning point, not just for the royal family, but for the monarchy's relationship with the public. Questions are being raised about transparency, accountability, and whether the institution can continue to command respect in an era of relentless scrutiny. As Prince William is portrayed stepping into his new role, the tone surrounding him is markedly different from past coronation imagery. Instead of celebration, the emphasis is on duty, discipline, and containment of damage. Analysts suggest that his leadership style, often described as controlled and pragmatic, is precisely why he was seen as the only viable option in this moment. The message, they say, is clear: the monarchy is closing ranks. International reaction has been equally intense. From the United States to Australia, headlines have echoed the same themes of abdication and betrayal. For many abroad, the story reinforces long-held perceptions of royal drama, while others see it as a serious constitutional issue with global implications. Commonwealth nations, in particular, are watching closely, aware that any sign of instability at the center could reignite debates about their own future ties to the crown. At the heart of it all is a profound sense of loss. Even among those who support decisive action, there is an acknowledgement that this moment represents a failure of reconciliation. The image of two brothers, once united and admired, now permanently divided, has become a powerful symbol of the cost of unresolved conflict. For many viewers, it is this human element that makes the story so compelling and so tragic. As the palace continues to manage the fallout, one thing is certain: the story is far from over. Whether these reports are ultimately confirmed, revised, or denied, they have already reshaped public perception. They have raised uncomfortable questions about power, loyalty, and the price of preserving tradition in a rapidly changing world.